Sandsnet.com. Check them out.
Running wild out in the city.
Welcome back. This is Night Talk with Jay Sands.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I cut that music a little short because I wanted to address what's going on in the chat room. Yes, because it's important. I want to go back just a little bit. Aaron has asked a couple of questions that are valid questions, and I'd like to answer them. Let's see. The entire facade of democracy in the States encapsulated in that, but personally, I don't consider how much of a warmonger Hillary versus Obama would be. I don't think they would make those calls whatsoever, says Aaron. Let me jump a few lines. I also said get Obamacare through was, yes, I did. I said that the only way to get, yes, that's right. That's what he said. The only way to get Obamacare through was to lie. And he did. And they did. But they didn't tell the American people until it cost them over $1 billion to correct the mistake the day they let it out. Okay, Aaron? Let's see. Ernie said we are a country of 300 million plus being led by 435 in the House and 100 in the Senate. 535 looking out for themselves. Fuck the people I represent, he says. Aaron says, Jay, there are alternatives to the GOP. Just because you're not interested in them doesn't mean they do not exist. Now, I didn't say that, and if you listened to the show yesterday or have heard anything that I've said in the last, year and a half, you would know that I am full of contempt for the Republican Party as well. But here's the difference. The difference is the Republican Party seems to be the only party that we can turn to right now. The American people are not going to turn to the independents. They're not going to turn to any other group in this country because they don't have a record to run by because the two major parties wouldn't allow it. But what has happened now is that we've got the Republicans in charge now. We've just told the Democrats, you're full of shit. We're tired of hearing your bullshit. Now we're going to give the Republicans a chance. But the American people have a big chance here. If the Republicans don't do it, I'm all for going with an independent or a libertarian the next time. Give them a chance. They can't do any better than what Obama's done to this country, what the progressives have done to this country, what the socialists have done to this country. They can't do any worse. They really can't. Unless, of course, you elect another socialist. And Ernie told Aaron that I was a Democrat for over 30 years. That's true. And then Aaron says, so that means you keep voting for the same party regardless. No, that doesn't mean that. And then also, Aaron said, yeah, I'm just wondering what it means for Jay to be a Dem for 30 years. Does that mean he voted Democrat or was involved? How about both, Aaron? I was involved through my union, supported them, and voted for them. Not completely. I voted for a couple of Republicans. I listened to what people say. That's how I learned. And I was younger then. Just like a lot of people that vote today are young and they're going for, the words and what they're saying. They don't check. They don't take the time to get into the meat of politics. I'm sorry I did it so late, but no, at that time I did. I supported them through my union. I was a union man for 30 plus years. But what I don't like, Aaron, is when a party gets so big and so friggin' arrogant that they think they know better than we the people know. When they think they're too big for we the people to tell them what to do. When they think they can just take shit and shove it down our throats whenever they choose to, that I don't like. I don't give a shit what party it is. I cannot take the arrogance of these people today, the Democrats, who are not Democrats anymore. They're not the same Democrats of 10, 20 years ago, 15, 20, 30 years ago. They're not the same Democrats anymore. This party has been taken over by far uber left liberals. And they are a minority in this country, but they've got such big mouths and they want to use the race card so quickly, and they want to call you a racist, and they want to call, the war on women and what we're doing to women and what we're doing to minorities. And what are they doing for these people? Absolutely nothing. But when you turn them around and when they think a camera isn't looking, that's when you see the truth. That's what bothers me, Aaron. That's why I feel the way I do today. I hope I've answered your question. Let's see. Aaron says, I honestly think the USA is the strangest nation to have ever existed when you sit and think about what has happened in the last 15 years. You may have a point there. Aaron, you may have a point there. Let's see. Moving on. Truth Porn Militia and Pumpkin Face says, I don't listen to anything Jay says, just being paid to monitor him. And he says, the next time, should have done it this time with us, and we might have changed some shit. Yeah, who are you going to give control of the Senate to? I'd really love to hear that, Pumpkin Face. Who was going to take it over? The Libertarians? Huh? There wasn't anybody else running but Democrats and Republicans. What's the matter with you? My God. You had one independent, I think, running. We can't get people to run for, constitutionalized people people that stand for the Constitution. You want to go put somebody up that doesn't have a name of backing. Now's the time to do that. We've got 2 years now to work towards that. Okay? And speaking of which, here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, the head of the Truth Porn Militia. And I'm not quite sure head is the right way to... Well, maybe it is. Say hello to Pumpkin Face. What's up?
And, of course, being joined by the illustrious Phoenix Kiss as well.
Ah, the queen of the pumpkin patch. Hello, sweetie.
Hey, you have to set up your own equipment, honey. I can't do everything for you. Yeah, all you got to do is run the cord. That's all you got to do.
Well, if I were you, can she hear me?
Yeah, she can hear you.
I would take his equipment. His equipment, if you got me, if you got my drift there.
Got that
queen.
Equipment, Jay. It's already bronzed and hidden.
Bronzed.
In the,
I'd chop it off. I'd make a hobbit out of you. Anyway, what's your argument here with this?
There's no argument, Jay.
This?
I'm just trying to change the way you think.
You can't change the way I think, my friend, because the way you think is too radical for me. Do you understand that?
Bullshit. You say you have liberty, you have freedom, correct?
Yeah, we do.
So then why in the hell do you keep only choosing two choices? That's not
because
liberty.
That's all we have. That's what I'm trying to make you understand.
Not all you have,
That's
Jay.
all we have. Who is going to... All right, so you tell me, in all of the Senate races that we just took or gave to the Republicans, how many independents were there?
You know, Jay...
Answer the question. Don't OJ me. Answer the question. How many independents ran?
I could have OJ'd you. It's right there underneath the fucking chair.
Don't you talk to her like that, because I'll come over there and smash your pumpkin face.
Now listen, Jay.
Oh, I think there's going to be a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Stick close. Go ahead, Pumpkin.
Now listen, okay? There were independent candidates. Just
how many?
All of them. There were
all of them
in all states.
All of them.
Yes.
All of them.
How do you not know this?
There were three. If I could count them, I can count them all on one. There were three.
No. There's always another independent candidate.
But look what happens to them in the primaries. They don't make it because the Republicans and the Democrats won't allow them to.
Okay. So it's okay for the Republicans and the Democrats to.
I didn't say that.
Not allow the independents to show up.
I didn't say that.
To show up on the media. It's okay for the Democrats and the Republicans.
I didn't say that.
All this money laundering as they're throwing.
I didn't say that. I've never said that.
What I'm saying is, Jay, that the independent candidates are there. You have to write their name into the ballot.
Oh yeah, right. You're going to get. You can't get 30% of the 100% of the people that are registered to vote. You want to get them all to vote for independents. Are you out of your fucking mind? Really?
Well,
are you crazy? We can't get 30% to come out and vote for the Democrats or Republicans. You want them all to vote independent.
Do you know why people don't vote, Jay?
Because they're fed up, that's why, and they think like you do, that their vote doesn't count.
No, I didn't say that I thought that my vote doesn't count. I'm saying that a lot of people don't think their vote counts. It's not.
Well, that's what I just said.
It's because of all the bad that happens during voting.
All the bad that well, so what happened that was bad this time?
Well, there were a lot of dead folks voting. I know that.
Okay, so what, they all vote for Republicans now? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it doesn't matter who they vote for.
It does matter because you can't just say shit, Pumpkin.
Jay,
you got to back it up with proof.
When this country started, we had 5 different political parties. Why do we only have 2 now?
Because they came out the strongest. That's why. But didn't you hear what I said? What I've been saying? What I've said for the last 5 months here? Haven't you heard anything I've said? I said now is the time for the American people to smarten up and maybe start a third party. Didn't you hear me say that? How many times have you heard me say that?
Third party this election at all?
What?
Did you vote third party this election?
No, I did not vote third party, and I wouldn't vote a third party in this election. It was too important to get back the Senate. Don't you understand that?
Then you're still thinking the same way that you always have. I mean...
No, that's not true, because you don't listen to me when I speak. That's not true. We needed to give the Republicans back the Senate so that we can control the Senate and the House, so that we can now box this president in and control a little bit more of what he cannot do. Do you understand that? Now, they have... You're going to let me finish or you're going to talk over me? You asked the question. I'm answering you.
Right.
We had no other choice. This was not the time to give this election to an independent or to a libertarian. Do you understand? This wasn't the time to do that. You don't play games in a situation like we have now. The growth of this country is stagnated. We are practically pissed on by the rest of the world. We have no respect anymore in the world because of what this president has done, and it's time to get it back. Now, the Republicans have 2 years to do that. If the American people are smart, or as smart as I think they are, they will then say either you did your job or you did not. If you did not do your job, I don't give a shit about Republicans. I don't give a shit about Democrats. I'm going to vote independent. I'm going to vote libertarian. These people are going to have a platform. Do you understand that? It was a must this time.
So I just don't know why. It just sounds like, I've heard this all before, every other time.
No, not like this. It wasn't as important. Every election is important. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
No. I understand where you're coming from. What I'm saying is that if every other election was important, then we should have taken the Republicans and the Democrats out of power 100 fucking years ago.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. I didn't live 100 years ago. I don't know. But
right.
It's only,
But now,
I can't speak for 100 years ago. Just like with the slavery thing that they keep attacking white people with all over the country, these liberals, about this, that was 100 years ago already. Give it a break. We're in the now. You want to go back? Fine. You want to understand history? That's great. But we're talking about what's happening right now. This country was taken over and bullshitted all over, and they accepted it. The American people accepted that.
But you're not getting. You understand what I'm saying though, right? That the Republicans and the Democrats, it doesn't matter which one it is. It's both an evil.
But you got to, at times, I know people say this all the time, but
saying that it's right. You
got to pick the lesser of two evils at this point. You only have two.
Never.
So what are you going to do? Not vote at all and let the Democrats continue to do what they're doing to this country? Is that what you want?
No, I vote third party. Always.
But you can't. It's not going to work. As you saw, it didn't work because the American people won't do it. You want to do it, and I understand that. But the rest of the electorate, 30%, 40% of the electorate votes out of 100% of the people that have registered to vote.
Because I'm not coming out there with the same platform that the Republicans and Democrats are. I'm coming out there with a platform that says none of the above. Don't vote for me, but don't vote for either of these guys either.
And then what do you have? You have nothing. It reverts back to who holds power. And who holds power? The Democrats did. They don't any longer. This is the step we needed to take to move forward, to get our country back, to get the basis of this country back together again. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. But you've got this thick head of yours.
No,
you just don't get it.
Jay. They're just not going to do it. That's all.
They're not going to do it. Well, again, if they don't do it, then it's time to wipe them out too and go to whoever it is. Now there's a free for all. Okay.
You want to make a bet? I got $100 right here, right now. We can make a bet. $100, 2 years, ain't nothing going to change, and it's only going to get worse.
Well, when you say nothing, what's going to get worse? The economy is going to get worse.
You name it, it's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse. You got to bet. I'll take that bet. In fact, I'll pay you 2 to 1. How's that? I'll give you 2 to 1 odds. How's that grab you?
That it's going to get better?
That it's going to get better.
Better.
Better than what it is today and what it's